Hello everyone, Oben1 here. This is my review for Detroit Become Human. I did a video earlier, but for some reason there was feedback on the video, so I have to do it again. And excuse the backdrop, I cannot really show you gameplay because yeah, it's very immersive when you're playing the game, so I cannot really show gameplay. So what I'll do is I'll just show you some of the things I got through the games, so like the gallery and some of the concept art as well as I speak and talk about the game. So hopefully I'll remember most of what I said in my other review or my other video that had the irritating feedback. So yeah, I played this game 3 times since I got it, and I thoroughly enjoyed this game. It's very, like I said, it's very immersive. It's very thought-provoking. As some people here know on this video, I mean, some people on this who knows what this channel know that I'm big into my sci-fi. Um, Even primarily when it involves artificial intelligence as well. So yeah, this game was just so much fun, you know, like basically it takes place in the span of 4 months, about 20 years from now. And yeah, you focus on 3 characters: Connor, which is this character right here, Marcus, and Kara. Um, for many people's favorite character is Connor. I can see why, but to be honest, I like the character, but for me, the standout character in the game is Marcus. You know, I just could relate to him, and yeah, I could just relate to him. Don't know why. Yeah. And yeah, he has a relationship with a character played by Lance Henriksen called Carl, and their relationship is heartwarming. You know, it's almost like a father-son relationship. And do you know what? You know, when the game starts, everything seems to be going out good for all of them. Then there's a turning point, you know, which puts them on a particular path, whether it's positive or negative. Speaking of which, this is a concept art for Alice, the main female, not the main female, but a character that Kara kind of looks after. You know, it's just, I find it interesting that she was going to be a character of color before, but the performance and everything in the game does not really, there's nothing that would make it any significantly different if she was of a particular race. But yeah, Kara is a really interesting character. You know, in a way, the way I see the game is I follow it right after what happened in the test footage. You know, the is it PlayStation 4 test footage. I'll show it to you right here. Where is it? Yeah, this one, the short Kara, the one that came out in 2013. In a way, I kind of follow her story right after what happened in this, and it doesn't really connect, but in my head I make it connect, you know. So yeah, the world is really lush in a way. It's got its beautiful side, it's got its dirty, grungy side, and other things like that. The look of the world is just spectacular. I like the amount of time and detail they went into creating these characters, because on a particular TV, you can, if it's set up properly, or if it's set up well enough, there are some moments, and I say some moments, where the image is somewhat photorealistic. With the right lighting, with the right TV setting, with the right PlayStation setting, some parts of the game can come off as photorealistic. You can see the freckles on Kara's face. You can see like not like bumps or scars on Luther's face. Speaking of which, Luther is another great supporting character. He's kind of like a gentle giant who gets incredibly bonded with Kara and Alice, and their story together is a story about family. In fact, you know what? The way I see it is basically all three stories are kind of about family. Yeah, Marcus is taken away from his father figure, and he's trying to find a family in another group. Kara is a machine who is quite robotic and everything, yeah, but finds a family in Alice and maybe Luther, you know, and Connor is like almost like bonding, making a almost friendship for life, or having a fatherly figure with the character of Hank, you know, or uncle type figure. All of these are depends on how you play the game as well, because you could be distant to Alice, you can be distant to Luther, you can be distant to Hank, you can be distant to the rebels and other things like that, you know. Again, the main theme about the main point about this game is choice. There are hundreds of outcomes in this game depending on how you play it, and it's just shocking that they went through so much detail, so much time in making all of this happen, you know. And also there are moments where, you know, it just looks vibrant, looks lush, yeah, and there are other moments where it's dingy. You know, the water simulation is amazing in this game, and yeah, just character interaction as well. Sorry, I kind of drifted off as I was talking, you know. Yeah, some of the character interactions are lovely in this game as well, and how Connor investigates is fun. It is fun. No, the controls are not perfect. There are moments where you want to do one thing but it's doing something else. Hopefully they'll fix that with a patch, but again, this is a Quantic Dream game and I don't really expect too much of them, but the mechanics, what they tried to do with the game, paid off in its own way. I think that yeah, this game is going to be remembered for quite a while, you know, and it will make people very excited for their next game. I don't think they will be doing a DLC for this, and I do not think that there will be a sequel. If there is on both fronts, then cool, but I don't think there will be. Like, I don't think there will be one for God of War. There will definitely be sequels for God of War, but I don't think there'll be DLCs for God of War. But I don't know. I don't work in the industry. But yeah, The characters are just great. The relationships are great as well. There's a lovely chase sequence in the game, yeah, with great music again. Yeah, the soundtrack is just stunning. It is done by 3 different composers, but to be honest with you, it doesn't feel that way when you're playing the game or when you're listening to it. It all feels seamless. And the other thing I'll mention is there's another sequence that is almost like a heist. And for those who have played the game would know what I'm talking about. There's a sequence that's almost like a heist, and it is just exhilarating if you pull it off the way you want to pull it off, you know. Um, and yeah, the look of the world is great. Um, the game, like I said, I don't know if I mentioned this because, like I said, I did a review earlier. But anyway, the game takes place in the span of about 4 months. I think about 20 years from now, and it works. It works. The 4 month gap allows you to kind of sympathize with some of these characters and allows you to understand their perspectives and other things like that. Like I said, there are characters that you can get incredibly bonded with. So Connor and Hank, his partner, like I said, it's just a lovely relationship depending on how you play it. Kara, Alice, and Luther, another lovely relationship again depending on how you play it. And Marcus with the Rebels of Jericho, a fun relationship depending on how you play it, because you can be an asshole and you can practically get everyone to hate you, you know, but they'll have to work with you in one way or another. And it works in its own way depending on how you play it. You know, this game is bombarded with a lot of choice, a lot of options. You won't run out of things to do in this game. And yeah, I'll just mention this. There's an achievement where there's achievement you get if you get some characters to stay alive throughout the end of the game. There are some characters that you meet up with, but yeah, there are just a few characters that you have to keep alive to play the game. And again, Connor, you know, another lovely character, but depending on how you play him, he can be an asshole, you know. And again, depending on the way you play him, it can seem like the T101, you know, but more in a more like a more charismatic version of the T101. But yeah, the use of technology, the way you investigate when you're Connor, you know, investigate certain crimes, the way you can like, okay, with Marcus it's not really investigating, his ability is more or less free running, you know, and it's yeah, it can be done in a particular way, you know. There are characters here that, you know, you could choose a peaceful path or you could choose a violent path. And if you choose a peaceful path, they'll put an obstacle in your way and kind of like confront you and say, okay, do you still want to go with the peaceful path, you know? And it's up to you to decide what you want to do with it. It's player's choice. I would highly recommend the game, but I understand there are some people who are strapped for cash. So I would say, if you're really keen on getting the game, I would say that yeah, wait for the price to go down. But if you're not really keen on the game, you know, I would say at least play the game. You know, give it a chance. It's definitely worth your time. If you have the money to buy the game, then yeah, go ahead and buy the game. And I suggest you play it more than once, you know, because again, like I said, there are multiple outcomes to this game. So play it more than once and see what um, what outcomes will come along, you know. There are some outcomes that I saw whilst I was playing the game, and that is why I played it a third time, because there are just some things in there that I felt uncomfortable watching. And it's not necessarily a bad thing. It's not, okay, to be clear, there's no nudity, there's no sex scene in this game. Yeah, there's no like gore, you know, there's no decapitations or anything like that. You do see corpses in the game, but it's not extreme to a point. But there are things, like depending on your mental state, you know, there are things that you'll be able to see, you know, and there's some things that will make you uneased whilst you're playing the game, you know. And yeah, there were some parts in the game that made me very uncomfortable, primarily with Alice and Kara, and I don't really want to talk about where. Yeah, again, yeah, I forgot to mention. I did mention that I got the pre-order bonus for the game was Blade Runner 2049 and a DLC, or not a DLC, but codes that gave me the dynamic theme for the game and the soundtrack. And the soundtrack was just just primarily for the PlayStation. And I did not think I could. Yeah, I was very pissed off with that. But to be clear, when I accessed it, it gave me the option to download it to a hard drive, an MP, not to a hard drive or flash drive. And I did download it, and I have put it on my iPod right now. And to top it off, excuse me, some of the things, I mean, apart from the soundtrack, you can also download ringtones from the game. You know, you can download ringtones for iOS or Android. And yeah, I downloaded that, and I'm going to use it in one way or another. But yeah, fun game. The soundtrack is stunning. Like there is a chase sequence, as I mentioned, that gets your heart pumping with the soundtrack. And there's a heist sequence as well that, yeah, the soundtrack just kind of gets you excited. The look of the world is stunning. It's lovely to watch in HDR. There are moments where the image is somewhat photorealistic. You can see the freckles on your faces, you can see the scars on the head, you can see kind of like the stain on your shirt and other things like that. The water simulation on this as well is incredible. You know, you don't really get water simulation like this in most games, and especially with modern clothing as well, for you to see how it affects clothes and stuff like that. And yeah, it's just a great game. It's a great game. It's entertaining, it's emotional, it's heartbreaking, it's heartwarming, and it's a lot of fun. Yeah, if you can, I would highly recommend you try the game out. If you're into science fiction, if you're into robotics and stuff like that. But if it's not really something you're keen on, then you might not be keen on this. But I will say, please do give it a chance. It's definitely worth your time. I can't stress that enough. Trying to figure out what else to talk about, but it's just a lovely game. Okay, I'll just quickly show you this. Okay, here there's magazines here. You can collect certain magazines from the game, all over each level, from different characters' perspectives and other things like that. and you have to play the game in a particular way to get some of those magazines. And luckily I have all 46 of them, which I got yesterday. The other thing here is the gallery. So you can if you interact with a character in a particular outfit or something like that, then the gallery unlocks, then you can buy it. As you can see up there, I have my bonus points are, is it 56 or 5,690. So yeah, I got a majority of them. As you can see again, yeah, here, this is Luther, the gentle giant. Again, a really great character, really fun character. Yeah, again, I cannot really stress to you anything about the game or the character. It's just something you have to experience for yourself. This is Marcus, one of the main characters you have to follow or you play as in the game. I forgot. This is Alice. Yeah, and this is Kara. Both of their relationships are it's almost like a mother-daughter relationship, and it just feels, I mean, it's emotional at points. Again, this is the Lance Henriksen character, Carl. Yeah, a really good character in the game. Who else do I need to show you? Yeah. Okay, those are the two these are the two ones I've not been able to unlock just yet. I'm trying to figure out how to get those ones unlocked, and hopefully I will do. But yeah, I am quite certain there are things I forgot that I did not talk about from my previous review, which had a terrible feedback loop, and I'm really pissed off about that. But yeah, I would just say thank you very much for watching. Please give me a thumbs up, share, subscribe, and leave a comment as well. If you have played the game, let me know what you thought about it. If you are thinking about the game, about getting the game, I hope I have been able to at least convince you to try it out. Okay guys, thank you again very much for watching my review of Detroit Become Human. So yeah, I have a ton loads of concept art. Yeah, by the way, the game also has like sex bots. Yeah, but there's no nudity, there's no gore, there's no there is violence, but there's nothing gratuitous, in this game. It's a well-made game. The controllers are a bit off at points. I don't think there will be a sequel, although I wouldn't say no to one. I don't think there will be DLC, although I wouldn't say no to one as well. Great soundtracks, fun characters, and yeah, great story. So yeah, if you can, try it out. Yeah, this looks a bit like Nirvana. I'm sure I'm wrong, but yeah. Yeah, it's a fun game. Give it a chance if you if you are able to. Thank you again for watching. Just trying to think of if there's any. Anyway, just so you know, I really enjoy this game. I highly recommend it if anybody can get the chance to try it out. Great story, great cinematography, and yeah, cinematographies that are not really things that games are known for, but yeah, it's got great cinematography, great visual effects, almost photorealistic at times. Soundtrack is stunning. I was able to download the soundtrack from my PlayStation 4 onto a flash drive and put it onto my iPod, so I'll be listening to that soon enough. thank you very much for watching, and sorry if I rambled on for ages. I'm still pissed off about my previous review being modeled up, so that is why I'm rambling and rambling and rambling, hoping that I did not forget something about the game. And I'm sure that when I cut this off and after I've uploaded it, that I remember I did not say this or I did not say that. But anyway, guys, thank you very much for watching. I'll catch you next time, and have yourself a good day.